Have you come to Pagliacci's a lot over the years?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you're thrilled to get a shirt.
Yeah, and I love the restaurant, so.
Love the restaurant, love the shirt.
Love the shirt, and love the music. So.
You gotta get here. Come on, get here. You gotta get here. Hip to the child.
Okay, Howie. So,
Robin.
45 years.
Yes.
45 years. So 46 years ago, what was going on? You went into the restaurant business. Had you had any background in that? Was that something you actually knew and understood, where you thought you were going to come here and build this great legacy for the community?
I knew how to eat, but that was about it. You know, my only qualification is that I wanted to eat, and that I couldn't afford to eat in a restaurant. So I met Alan DiFiore at CJVI. He got me that job and really brought me to Victoria. And DiFiore, who became the chief story editor of Da Vinci's Inquest, has a fabulous career, Geminis and all that stuff. And meeting Alan really was the key, because his Italian family had these magnificent recipes. His mother always wanted to open a restaurant. And so when I met Alan and his wife Bonnie, that all materialized. My brother came down from Los Angeles, and that was the nexus, that was the coalition that made the joint.
Hi guys. Hey Howard. How you doing? Hey, nice to see you. It's Andrea. Yes. Hi Patrick.
Hi Joel. How you doing?
Hey, you guys look with Noel? And who's back there? Suki. Great. You know it's going to be good tonight. The best. Hi ladies. And Joe, there's the new guy.
Where'd the name come from?
Alan. It's an opera. It's about a clown. Pagliacci's means clowns in Italian. A clown whose heart is breaking because his wife is cheating on him. And yet he has to go out and make people laugh every night.
So really you were able to occupy this role quite neatly, weren't you?
It was painful, but I made it through it. It's 1924. This restaurant was built in 1924. It was the Mayfair restaurant, and old Victorians remember the Mayfair. It was an institution here for years and years and years, until about 70s, mid-70s. Edna Brown, who used to own the Sugar Mule, she bought it and turned it into the Red Swing. And so we'll get a picture, we can take a picture of the mannequin on the Red Swing that graced this place.
Oh, wow.
For about 3 years.
With the cast from Raiders of the Lost Ark, they were all sitting in the back. There was about 20 people. And Dino and his girlfriend, who was the star of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Karen Allen.
Karen Allen. And it was an amazing night. We had so much fun, and everybody was pouring them drinks, and they were eating, and they were so happy here.
You want a true story?
Yeah.
Are you guys police officers?
No.
Okay. Just friends?
Yeah.
So one time Howard were working, and there was a customer that was not behaving. And he was all tatted up, muscle shirt on, and he was a big guy. I was probably about 20 years old, and he was sitting in the center of the restaurant, and all he said to me, that's all he gave me is, Chris, just make eye contact with this guy. You gotta get him out of here. Just make eye contact. I didn't know what he was gonna do. He picked up a chair, the restaurant's full, there's a lineup. He picks up a chair, he comes up behind the guy, and he hits the guy as hard as he can over the back of his head. Knocks the guy right out, one shot. And then when the cops show up, they handcuff him, and then they basically take Howard aside and they say, we don't advocate for what you just did, but just so you know, there was a warrant for this guy for murder one. And the guy went and spent the rest of his life in jail.
Remember it anymore.
Okay, what have you got next up on your prescription list here, Doctor?
The next on the prescription list is, of course, Wayne's World.
Oh, Wayne's World.
Yes, Wayne's World suffers from Alzheimer's disease.
No.
This movie forgot that it had already been made.
Where did you first start your media conquest, where you worked in radio, you worked in cable, you worked at TV, and then...
Because I kept on getting fired! I couldn't keep a job! That's why I went from one to the other! It wasn't on purpose! And where did it all start? In the 6th grade, in the talent contest. I made up a character, Izzy Schwartz, Sport Shorts. And I went on the stage in front of the Crescent Heights Grammar Elementary School on Crescent Heights Boulevard in Los Angeles and pretended I was Izzy Schwartz giving a sports review. That was the beginning. So I've always had a performance gene. It's a birth defect. Don't blame me. I'm not an egomaniac.
Well, no one would accuse you of
I'm
that.
not an egomaniac. I have a performance gene that demands I share my gifts with the world.
Hi, everybody. I'm Howie Siegel. I do the movie reviews on the regular newscast, but now I've got my very own Oscar special. I'm going to give my own awards and make fun of the movies and ridicule the actors. It seems superior to the people that I idolize.
Solomon!
Dad, it's called knocking.
Solomon! You're home from school and your room, it's so clean!
Hi, my name's Selena. I'm Solomon's new tutor.
Yeah, and I suppose that's an educational TV. Where's my remote control?
I don't need a remote. I've got Selena.
When I was a little boy, I used to go to LA to visit my grandmother, my booby, and I'd be a teenager sitting and watching TV late at night. She'd get out of bed, she'd come into the living room and go, "Are you hungry? I can make you a sandwich. I can make you eggs. I can make you a bagel." She'd go through the list of things she could make me. And I go, "I'm not hungry. I don't need anything." She would, "Okay, if you get hungry," then she would go through the list of things that were in the fridge. "Should I get hungry?" I go, "I'm fine. I just want to watch TV. I don't need anything." She'd go back to bed. In an hour, she'd get up, come out, and see if I wanted anything now. And it was easier just to ask her to make you a sandwich than because it wasn't going to stop. And it was this necessity of feeding people, and that is absolutely.
And you believe that
Jewish
comes
value.
through in your restaurant?
Yeah, absolutely. That is the core. That is like we put food on the table in front of people. That is, and we only charge people when they're happy and they love it, right? This is the core of what we do, and it's why I actually have a whole kind of philosophy around why feeding people in a human way, why connecting with people and bringing them something to eat and something to drink, and can really change lives more than just about anything on the planet, because it's connection. It's when you're making the food, and people don't even need to know how much effort goes into it. They can feel it. If you put in the effort to make sure, I spent hours blind tasting pastas. Plain pasta, because I didn't like the pasta that we were serving when I took over the restaurant. Not one person complained about the pasta before, and not one person said to me, "Hey, it got better afterwards." But I knew it got better, and it meant that when I showed up, the feeling that I had made people feel that I cared about them and their experience, and that is really that's the product here. It's not really about food, it's not about drink, it's about the feelings we're giving to people. And it's absolutely a core Jewish value, and it's a way of expressing love for people and love for the world through food and drink and music. But really, it doesn't matter what it is. It's about that feeling.
A million reasons why Pagliacci's is the best restaurant around. Million. The music, the food, the service, the people.
Yeah.
Your father, and now you. But really at the top of the list is this bread.
Yeah.
This bread that is delivered as soon as you walk out.
Yeah.
Tell me some stories about this bread. Have you ever run out? Have you ever, have you ever had to make it? Have you ever had to, change the process or anything?
Oh, constantly. Everything about that, right? So, I would say, it's interesting that if you go, there was somebody put out a list of, the top 10 dishes you have to eat in Pagliacci, or not in Pagliacci, in Victoria when you visit. And I looked through the list and I went, you know what? Our bread made it, and ours was the only thing that was for free there.
The mail. Start cleaning. Action.
I need a script. My instinct isn't, ooh, I should ask the director if I could do it.
What's wrong?
I love the nuance you've created, the ambiance, the feeling of being in New York or an American city. Has that been tempered with a Canadian wrapping at all? Has it mellowed over the years? And if it hasn't, how do you keep it going? Is it you?
No, John. It can't possibly be me. It can't possibly be one person. First of all, I can't cook a lick. So to me, it's the food is foundational. And
great staff.
Yes, and foundational food, service, and pricing. If you have any of those wrong, if you're overpriced and people feel they're being exploited, if you have bad food, they feel they're being, what is we doing this here? Why'd we come here? Why'd we wait in the lineup? And any of those things destroy the attitude, the amiability, the atmosphere. So when people think, gee, you created an atmosphere joint, it's really a byproduct. The happiness, what you hear, the feeling is happy customers. And they're happy because the food is good, it's well priced, and it's well served.
So how long after that picture was he killed?
A couple hours, a few hours. It's the last photograph ever taken of James Dean, ever.
Wow.
And I know because I bought it from the collector, and it's the first picture I ever collected on Santa Monica Boulevard, Perry's Photos, and that's why I bought that on purpose, and that's the first picture I ever bought.
All right, so Solomon, highlight people that you've seen in this place over the years. It doesn't have to be when you've just been the manager, but people that stand out in your mind as, wow, I can't believe such and such is actually sitting here in our restaurant.
Probably the person I had the most fun with was Sir Ian McKellen. It was just before the second Lord of the Rings came out, and he was in town shooting a movie, Emil, and he was in the restaurant, and me and my dad were having a fight over the chocolate torte. It wasn't selling. I wanted to take it off the menu. He goes, I love the cake. I'm like, I know you love it, but it's going stale, and I'm throwing it away because no one's ordering it. We'll run it as a feature. Like, I just don't want to I can't serve stale cake. So he sees Sir Ian McKellen there, brings out a piece of cake for him to decide. Ian tells my father it's great, and then looks to me and goes, you're right, take it off the menu. And then he loved the experience so much, he loved being here so much, that he showed up at our staff party. He was showing up after hours to go smoke pot with the kitchen guys, and they'd cook him meals.
Right on.
And then at one point,
So you were number one with Gandalf.
Number one with Gandalf. So and then the day before the second Lord of the Rings came out, I'm walking down the street and day off, and I hear someone go, Solomon, from behind me. I turn around, there's Ian McKellen. He holds up a bag and he goes, I just got soup from your restaurant. And I went, oh great, where are you off to? He's like, I've got a screening of the second Lord of the Rings. You want to go? And I went, all right. So then I walked over to the Vic Theater and I sat next to Gandalf and watched the second Lord of the Rings the day before the rest of the world saw it. So that was I like that story. That was a fun time.
So welcome to the 45th anniversary of Pagliacci's. Thank you all for making it possible. Victoria has made Pagliacci's. We don't advertise. This is it. We want to give back to our community, to all of you. So thank you so much for coming. And are we good?
A hand, please, for the Siegel family, if you will. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for Pagliacci.
This is Howie Siegel, once again, a media star, albeit it's on the Rumble Room, it's on the internet, but thousands of people will see it, and I can guarantee you we're all going to stay fully clothed, and at least you won't hear John and I swearing on this little segment. So that's good news, Howie, and I just want to congratulate you on 45 years. This is such a legacy for this community, and a lot of people have come and gone through PAGS over the years, including my own family, my wedding. Well, my wedding party came here to celebrate after we got married, and that was 40 years ago.
That sounds like so much fun.
So much fun.
The superstar restaurant of Canada, Pagliacci's.
That was him. Yeah, that was. Do you have anything else to say? You want to say thank you for coming?